I think we all have questions about Colorado's rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, such as why educators weren't in the first group if students are heading back to classrooms.
And then last week, the governor modified the timeline to include educators in the second phase. Denver 7's Meghan Lopez tonight takes a 360 look at prioritizing teachers for the vaccines.
With a prick in the arm and a round of applause, last month, Colorado took a major step forward in fighting COVID-19. The vaccine offers hope that soon we can put this pandemic in the past. Phase 1A of the vaccine rollout includes healthcare workers and first responders. After that, firefighters, police, hospice workers, and more. But then last week,
we are updating and entering in many parts of our state Phase 1B to more closely align with the CDC guidance.
Governor Polis modified that priority list.
This update also includes, in Phase 1B, Coloradans that are 70 and older.
Teachers were also bumped up. In this Denver 7 360, you'll hear from 2 educators, a policy expert, a community investor, and a doctor about the idea of prioritizing teachers. For the Poudre School District,
this school year has been a real challenge.
This year has been anything but normal. Switching between in-person and remote learning has taken a toll.
It's been a lot of pressure for the district.
But soon, with proper safety precautions in place, these hallways and classrooms could be full once again. The Colorado Association of School Boards says the vaccine could help bring back a sense of normal.
It's really important to prioritize educators to be able to help keep our schools in-person learning.
So educators have been pushing for priority.
Everyone that has an impact in direct instruction with kiddos really have the need to have this access to the vaccine.
Clearly, we don't see them as high as priority as the frontline workers in the healthcare industry. But if you go after that, to me, it's right after that.
Reopening schools is the single most important catalyst for the economy because it helps parents get back to work.
Mike Johnston from Gary Community Investments says the pandemic and school closures have caused learning loss, but also
it's much harder for us to keep a family moving and keep our jobs going and keep our kids happy. 96% of parents with kids say they don't have another caregiver to be able to manage their kids while they're at work, which means they're trying to do both.
So for the sake of the economy, he agrees that teachers need to be high on the vaccine priority list. Others disagree.
It depends on who else is standing in line.
Ray Domanico from the Manhattan Institute recently wrote an op-ed arguing against making educators the main priority. That op-ed?
100 million shots in the first 100 days.
A response to President-elect Joe Biden calling for a national prioritization.
And as soon as possible, it will include educators.
We cannot have a national priority for the schools.
Domanico argues there's a lot of others who deserve preference.
I don't know that teachers should automatically be placed at the head of the line, more so than a person who drives a bus or who makes the train run on time or who's working in a food processing plant.
The new 1B priority list includes essential workers along with teachers, more than 1.2 million people in all. And who within that group will get the vaccine first is still unclear. For Domanico, the bottom line is
there's a lot of evidence that schools have not been places of large-scale transmission of this virus.
Thankfully, kids are less likely to become very sick with COVID the way that adults are, and that kids seem to be slightly less likely to spread COVID to other people.
Dr. Jessica Cataldi says between testing, cleaning, and masks, even without a vaccine,
schools can be made into safe settings.
Still, she believes school staff should be a priority.
So teachers are grouped with other essential workers, which we think is very appropriate.
Even with this new listing, though, it will be many months before students can be immunized, meaning
it's still going to have to go along with all those other layers of washing your hands, having kids and teachers still wear masks.
Arm by arm, dose by dose, it will take many months to vaccinate enough people to truly conquer COVID. Frontline workers are first. Educators are hoping to be vaccinated sooner than later for the sake of schools. Meghan Lopez, Denver 7.
So what do you think? Who should be prioritized for the next round of vaccines? Should educators be the next priority? Email your thoughts to 360@thedenverchannel.com.